we got some camo dust. Man, we out here trying to smoke us some big old hogs, and this stuff right here says it's gonna camouflage us when we hit our own selves with a sack, so we fixing to do it, baby. Hit yourself with it, baby. Go ahead, like a man. Yeah, so. All right. Y'all see that? Camo dust, scent eliminator. We finna kill some hogs. I got this one right there. Oh my gosh. Oh. I just turned this camera on and just had this camera like that. I didn't even play on it. Oh my goodness. I got that one. I got it. Oh my gosh. That's a big sucker too. Dude, that side's gonna kill. Hey guys, man, we come down to a buddy's deer camp. He is completely overrun with hogs, and it's Daniel and I. And man, this old sun's bright. It's kind of hard to see. And I looked up, and probably about 75 yards, a great old big one stepped out. So, man, we took care of one of them for the little porker is laying on the ground because his pumper ain't running no more. So we just gonna sit here a little while and hope there'll be a couple more walk out. Y'all stick around. This may get good. Gnarly, dude. Gnarly, gnarly. Man, this was sweet. Man, I've actually got my son's 708. And, man, I got this for him when he was a kid. And, man, he likes shooting at 7 mag now, but I'm gonna tell you something, this gun right here is a bad dude. That hog didn't take another step when I pulled the trigger. That is sweet. Guys, check it out. Look at the cutters on this sucker right here. Oh my gosh. Man, what a fun day, guys. Man, this is a Friday, and Daniel and I come out, and man, I was really hoping Daniel would be able to take the shot at this, and that daggum sun got right in his eyes and he wasn't able to see, so I pulled the trigger. Man, I'm gonna tell you, you know, a hog's eyesight is not that good, but their daggum nose don't fail him, and this sucker, man, he didn't even act like he had a clue we were even there. So I think that camo dust works. We've also had a couple deer walk past, and they didn't know we were there either. So, man, it's pretty good stuff. That's really the first time I've ever used it. I'd say that's the deal right there, the real deal. And that 708 knocked him down. Can you see the teeth on this thing? Sweet. Hey guys, it's Wes with Arkansas Extreme Outdoors, and I want y'all to know this is Justin and this is Daniel. And if y'all see what he's got here, let me see one of these. Fellas, we're not just gonna hog hunt. Y'all see what we got right here? Y'all looking at that? And we don't have a clue what we're doing, but we're fixing to do. we're gonna do something even if it ain't right. He's got a beaver dam he wants to blow up, and I thought there ain't no way we're not gonna run a camera if this is fixing to happen. So, man, y'all stick around. The hog was great. This is gonna be awesome. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Right.
Let's do it. You ready?
Yep. Woo! Holy smokes.
Things just got extreme.
Well, I don't think it did the damage I was expecting it to.
Hey, I'm just glad to get to be a part of that, and I saw the meat wagon.
Well, guys, we're glad y'all joined us out here. We come down to Justin's camp. We having a good time. Man, we've blown stuff up, and we killed us a hog since we've been here, and even more than that, we've just been guys. And so, but now we're gonna come to a little spot right here, and I wanted to kind of share a devotion. You know, the devotion that I want to share, what I want to talk about was the Jewish wedding. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys before, but I think y'all will think this is pretty cool. So, on a normal Jewish wedding, if y'all didn't know it, what would happen is the man and his family would go and they would find, you know, the woman that he was wanting to marry. I don't know exactly how they picked that out, but they would go and they would go to her parents, and when they got there, they would cut a deal, and whatever the deal was, the groom and his parents had to pay the price for the bride. And once they paid the price for the bride and the money was paid, then the groom and his dad and family would travel back home, and he would start building a house. And usually back then, they added on to their parents' house. And at that point, when that money was paid, it was legal, it was binding. I mean, it would literally take a sheet of paper, certificate of divorce to break that. And they were called betrothed when that happened. That was what it was called. And that may sound familiar to you because, you know, when Mary and Joseph, when Mary showed up pregnant, that's what had happened. That payment had already been made, but he had not slept with her yet. He had went back to fix a place for her to come live. So the way that the wedding went is when the groom would go back and he would build the place for the bride to come live with him, added on to the parents' house. When it got finished, you never knew how long that was going to take. Dude, he would come back, and when he come back in town, regardless when he got there, if it's in the middle of the night, they woke everybody up, celebration, it was on. And it truly was a celebration, because he had come back to get his bride, and now he's going to take her home, and for the first time they would lay together when they got home. I mean, you know, they would, you know, make it that official. And so when you start thinking about that, this is cool, because you'll probably, once you understand that, then you can understand kind of what Jesus has going on. So Jesus left heaven. We called him the groom. His bride is the church. It is the people who submitted to him, come into obedience to him, and belong to him. And so Jesus come from heaven to find his bride, which is going to be the church, and he paid a price for it. And the price he paid for his bride was the death on the cross.
So you can see some similarities in between what's happening here, right? And after he paid the bride price, he went back home. And if y'all remember in the scripture, I believe it's in John, where he talks about, my Father has a mansion and in its many rooms, and I go to prepare you one. So basically what's happening is, and the Jewish culture would have understood this probably a little bit better than us, but Jesus has gone back to heaven, and he is actually building those who are his a place to live. Just like in the Jewish wedding, we don't know when he's coming back, but when he does, we have to be ready, because at that point it's time to go home and to be with him. And I think a lot of times if we understood the Jewish custom just a little bit, it helps you understand more about what Christ is doing for us. And I just thought that was kind of a cool devotion. Thought I'd share it with everybody watching, and you guys, and maybe from now on when you read across that, or you think about Jesus coming back, or him coming to pay the bride price for him, it was his very life. It's what he had to pay in order to redeem us, to purchase us. And so man, we sit ready, and I pray that we don't just sit on church pew somewhere, but we actively seek him, look for him, and like Moses, come into obedience to him. And we understand that we weren't born just to give our hearts to Jesus and to die and go to heaven. We were born for a reason, for a purpose, and to live out that purpose in this life. And so man, I pray that we get to it, do it, and man, take this message and share it with somebody else, because it may make all the difference in the world when they hear the same thing we just heard. So anyhow, fellas, we're glad y'all joined us today. We're going to see if we can't get back to some action now.
Man, I had an absolute blast at Justin's camp this weekend. Daniel said that we covered over 13 miles looking for another hog, half that on foot, and half of it was on the meat wagon. And what guy doesn't like getting together with other guys and just blowing stuff up? Man, each day is a new adventure. I think it's time we put our cell phones down and start just hanging out again. It came to mind that there are small camps all over the great state of Arkansas, just like Justin's. Places that friends get to be friends with an entire world to go out and explore. Man, this makes me proud to be a part of Arkansas Extreme Outdoors and get to meet and become friends with people like Justin and Daniel. Guys, until the next big adventure, this is Wes, and I'm turning a page in my book of life.